All right, by this time tomorrow, we'll know who won the game, the annual Yale-Harvard football game, which started in 1875. Yale hosts this year, which marks the debut of a new athletic facility right next door to the Yale Bowl. It's called the Kenney Center, after the Kenney family, which donated funds for the project in honor of 5 family members who played for the Yale Bulldogs football team. Jerome Kenney was one of them. He's a senior advisor at BlackRock and a former vice chairman at Merrill Lynch. He joins us now from New Haven, Connecticut. Jerry, thanks for coming on the show. It's also, believe it or not, a subject near and dear to my heart after covering the Harvard-Brown game this year. Ivy League football is such a great, fun sport to watch, but they're so underfunded compared to the incredible endowments that these schools have. What is it going to take for these athletic programs to get real money compared to how much money the schools get?
Yes, that's actually a very good question. And one of the reasons why our family has chosen to fund this building, because we think our personal view is that athletics are going to need to be separately funded by athletes and their parents rather than rely on the endowments of the colleges. And so we've given this money, and I think that others will start to do it as well. So I think realistically, it'll be hard for Ivy League sports to expect they're going to get a higher slice of tuition or a higher % of the endowment. But I think if they tap into the graduates who played the sports, that they can raise the money.
I wonder what it takes to convince the people that run the schools, though, that athletics are important. I mean, do you think that they don't think they're as key to a well-rounded student's education, or do you think that they just feel they have enough money for that sort of thing already?
No, I think they feel athletics are important. But when you get down to the annual budgets, it's hard to, let's say, allocate money to an expensive attachment to a football building, you know, when you're considering other key priorities. But I think that if they would better organize the graduates who played the sports, as they're now doing, they'll be able to raise substantial sums. And we actually gave our money to Yale in general, and then the athletic department and the president asked us if we would designate it for this building, which we did.
What do you think about the chances of Yale winning the game? I mean, Harvard has a pretty good team this year.
Yes, well, they're the reigning champ. They're 5-1 in the league. Yale's 2-4. So Yale's the clear underdog, but I'm counting on a strong fight, and with a few breaks, they hopefully will pull an upset.
All right, so you played football at Yale, right? And
yes.
Along with a number of other family members, at least 3 brothers.
Right.
You played lacrosse as well. What are the sports that you want to see people focus on, or does it not matter to you as long as they're out there doing something?
Yes, we think that at Yale, a lot of people participate in sports. In the Ivy Leagues, and Yale have 35 varsity sports, which rank among the highest in the nation. And therefore, the demands for these facilities are high. But what they haven't done, which they've done now recently, is to go to these alumni groups and ask them to help fund these improvements. This is now happening, and there's some pretty good examples of this success.
Have you got a big fur coat and a giant hat to wear to the game?
Well, fortunately, the temperature's mild. One of the mildest in recent years, so I don't think that's going to be necessary. The temperature should be terrific.
Jerry, let me ask you, you spent a lot of years working at Merrill Lynch.
Yes.
That firm sort of got taken out last year. What are your thoughts on working at Mother Merrill and how the changes have affected it?
Well, for me, Merrill was a great experience, and my job before I get to the future was to how do we create an institutional company with Merrill, which had been a retail firm. And so that was a great challenge, which we then succeeded in doing that. And then beyond building a strong institutional business in the United States to become a leading firm abroad, which we also did. So it's a memorable, for me, 40 years, including the acquisition company that I was with. And obviously it's sad to see what's happened to the street, not just for Merrill, but for Lehman and Bear Stearns. Fortunately, Merrill is ending up with a large bank, strong bank. And I think once the management situation gets settled, it should be in a good position to compete effectively.
Hey, I know you don't want to participate in the name game and trying to guess who takes over at Bank of America, but what kind of qualities do you think a new CEO needs to lead not only Bank of America, but the companies that it's acquired?
Well, anyone who's going to lead a top investment bank, commercial bank, has to understand risk management, has to understand regulatory rules, and the public sentiment now is becoming more important. They have to be very good with people, and they have to be innovative. So it requires a lot of skills, and my view is that to think that you're going to get all those skills needed in one person is unrealistic, and the key is to create a top team of people that can compete successfully against the competition as well as create shareholder value.
All right, hey, Jerry, we appreciate your time today. Jerome Kennedy, there of BlackRock, talking about the game, and we're definitely looking forward to seeing the outcome of that.
Well, thank you.